Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. Today's date is Monday, February 20th, 2023. I am so glad you're here. I really am. I'm glad I'm here. It's one of those days. What can I say? I want to take a look at something tonight, and then I'm going to ask the universe about it. Let me show you what's on my mind today, okay? Just a second. Okay, so Dahl Arnson, who is the host of Alaska Patriot Network on Big Talk Radio, and hey, I'm for any Alaska truther out there. We're few, but we're on it. She is visiting in California, and concerned residents in the heartland where there's cattle and ranching and farming are worried because for some reason, and not at any request of any of the landowners here, the railroad or some entity that has railroad access has dropped off hundreds of containers that have some sort of flammable material in them, and they are fully loaded. They're riding low on their axles. So in the spirit of see something, say something, they've done that. You see, if there is a toxic spill here or calamity, not only is it going to impact food supply further, but that's the head of the aqueduct for the San Francisco area. Okay. So, and there's no rhyme or reason or no request by landowners for that to happen. Now, just a couple hours ago today, there was what is being billed as a mass casualty incident in Ohio, where one person is dead and several are critically injured. I bring that to your attention, not because I see a direct correlation between the two, but I absolutely believe that there is purposeful and deliberate attack on American soil of our food supply, our supply routes, our supply chains, our water. And I think it's time we take a look at that. So we're going to do that with this tarot read today. So this may end up being one of those rare videos where I actually end up doing 2 tarot reads. My first one, I want to look at those unexplained railroad cars that are being left in the agricultural heartland of California, and just see what the intent behind that has been, and if having eyes on it, as I've talked about before, sometimes having eyes on the subject, we know that changes it. Let's see if there's been a positive change because of the public awareness that's coming out there thanks to citizen journalists and concerned landowners. Let's see what the cards have to say. So let's see what the intent was with those train cars full of something, and if it's been mitigated by the see something, say something occurrence that's happened with it. Okay, we got a big yes already. Ace of Wands, the Fool, Empress, Page of Cups, High Priestess, 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. Okay, so our big comforting nod here with the cards is that we're getting the ace for our question, which was, has the see something, say something elements of these mysterious train car placements been changed or altered because of that see something, say something? we're getting a big solid yes with the Ace of Wands here. Now, a little more information comes from the Fool, okay? I'm getting that the attacks that are being done by the railroads, which are way too almost universally connected to BlackRock, are going to continue, but this particular one is not going to roll out because of eyes on the situation. Okay, now in the recent past, we have the Empress showing up, and she kind of always represents my Mother Earth. So yeah, there are assaults being done on our food supply, our air, our water. It's nothing new. It's ramped up in some ways with the train derailments. There's some new elements of it, okay? In our current spot here on the read, we have the Page of Cups. Now, he's often a pleasant surprise, okay? And I'm not saying for those planning this, but for those people that spoke up, okay? It has changed a plan to their benefit, okay? Still some hidden information and secrets involved with this whole situation looking for. That's not going to change, okay? But with eyes on, at least for the California folks, they're going to be able to harvest crops without having them burned and their lands taken from them because they're contaminated and what have you. But the struggle is going to continue, okay? It is. Let's get a few more cards here. We have a card of choices showing up with the Seven of Cups and then the Three of Swords. Again, this is why I thought I might be doing the second read. We're getting information that the lies are going to continue. Things aren't going to be candid and open, okay? And even as we speak, there are people being tempted to allow mayhem and loss of life to happen. So a quick recap of this part of the video. The question was there a shenanigans plan with those train cars that are just being left sitting in the heartland of agricultural area in California? And the answer is yes. Eyes on the situation does seem to have altered that plan, and it will be to the benefit of the landowners and citizens of California and whoever that particular breadbasket feeds. So that's good. Now, here's what I want to get into with the rest of my read. This is tough. There's all media chatter that we know the loss of life is deliberate. Okay, we know that. We know the assaults. The collective consciousness is being groomed to help manifest some of these things. So we need to have eyes on situations and just be fighting back mentally in every way we can to say, maybe shenanigans are planned, maybe they're even allowed. But that is not the world I consent to live in. That's not the timeline I want to be on, and that's not the one I am going to put my energy into making manifest. So there, I've already, before I've done the next read, I've given you the solution, okay? We who are awake and aware can stop contributing our energy to the collective consciousness that is allowing this. We don't have to be to the point of oblivion that we're surprised, but these daily calamities, these loss of life incidents, these destruction, for example, in East Palestine, in that area, there was a huge organic farming and free-range poultry industry that is going to be severely impacted for God only knows how long because of that. Okay, that derailment, that horribly botched cleanup and everything else. Okay, so here's the tough read. Are we being deliberately killed off to satisfy a quota that was demanded and agreed upon by the white hats, those in positions of authority? Are we being killed and harvested as part of some quota agreement? Let's see what the cards have to say. So this question is, again, is there a quota agreement, a harvesting of human life that's been agreed to? With evil or off-world or other entities? We know where their food supply. Okay, Knight of Cups, Six of Swords, the World, Nine of Cups, Three of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, King of Cups. Okay, well, this was one of those reads I almost dreaded to do, but I'm going to give you the overall answer. I'm seeing the cards and I'll tell you why I'm seeing it, and then we'll look for a little more added information. Okay, here's the thing. I guess basically what I was asking is, have we been sold out by the white hats? Okay, did they agree to allow this harvest? Okay, it's undeniable that there is loss of life going on. Okay, I am not getting a card read here that indicates that there has been a formal agreement to allow this, but it is happening. It's undeniably happening. Okay, and if anybody, the Knight of Cups is tricky and he makes false promises, and this indicates the element of those that do want that harvest of human life. Okay, and they may claim that it's in the best interests of that, but that's not what their motives are. However, we have a beautiful card in the back here, the recent past with the World, and that's a victory card. There's no way to read that as anything but a good positive card. Okay, and that ultimately we're going to be with my Nine of Cups here, which is a card of satisfaction, almost perfect satisfaction. I'm seeing that ultimately, despite this loss of life and these daily crises and calamities that are happening, and they're not just happening in the United States, but we're being made more aware of them. All of a sudden, it's within our borders, very visibly so. Ultimately, it's looking like that's a satisfying situation as it moves forward and resolves. Now, look here, we've got the Three of Swords, a card of loss, sorrow, and lies. Okay, again, so we got lies, we have lies. King of Cups, he's not a white hat card. He often indicates a, like I've said before, he's got the ultimate poker face, in control of his emotions. Okay, but stronger than him on this side of it, we've got the one good card on this looking ahead. We have the Nine of Pentacles. And she is a card of independence, which is what we can look forward to, okay? And love and abundance. So in the present, there's challenges, okay? Challenges. Yes, the world has been at stake and still is to some extent. We can say, oh, we've won the war, we've won the war. We can say that these losses are rearguard actions and they're messy and they, they're damaging. Okay, and we're not going to stop being lied to. Okay, that's not going to stop in the near future. Let's see what's going on though. Hierophant, deep state card, landing on top of my fraud, lies, and trickery. High Priestess showing up again, because there's always some hidden information is behind the veil, but it's not unavailable. Okay. It's not unavailable. It's not locked away forever, but it is not evident and in our face yet, the truth in things. We have a sweet card showing up here now for one of my final cards. We have the Two of Wands, which is about looking at the world and moving forward in a new way, which, as painful as this is all part of that process. And then we have the Knight of Swords, the White Hat cards. Okay. Okay, let's recap that one. I was dreading that. I'm sure you can tell because I don't have a poker face. I want to believe that the white hats are white hats, that if there's any element within those ranks, they're infiltrators, they're controlled opposition, they're double agents, but that the core and the majority of white hats are white hats. And I was afraid of what I'd see. What we did see with this one, again, confirmation that yes, there is a very deliberate process going on to interrupt our food supply, to poison, and to create loss of life. Absolutely. And it is what we call the deep state that wants that, or whatever off-world elements control them. Okay. But I do see that it's being opposed by the white hats, and the we keep saying that the war's been won. We had the world card show up for the recent past, which is a victory card. So even though we're getting these daily derailments and plants burning and explosions and what have you, it does seem to be the work not of the white hats, but of, again, evil, the deep state. Okay, it's being opposed by the white hats, I think, to the best of their ability. It's just that with so many evil minions being activated to do their final dastardly deeds, there's a lot of fires to put out and a lot of places to have eyes on, and they have to be somewhat selective in that, just because of manpower limitations. Which brings us back again to what can we do, we ordinary humans who want human life to prosper, flourish, be healed, and treasured. Okay. Well, first of all, just like happened with the California situation, if you see something, say something. Okay. Let's put the kibosh on some of these small, because these are localized. I do believe that the deep state has been impacted to the point that they can no longer coordinate a global event. They're localized, which means even if you're in suburbia, name your state, eyes on situations. If you see something, say something, report it, do a live feed on Facebook, TikTok, whatever social media you use, get the word out, okay? Because as we know from quantum physics, when we view a situation, just viewing it changes it. So use that weapon. That's a powerful weapon in our arsenal. The other thing is be aware. Again, we are being programmed as a collective consciousness across the planet to become resigned to these assaults on our food supply, our safety, our land, our water. And we need to deliberately and explicitly revoke any consent to have any of our energy going into that expectation. It may happen, but by golly, it's happening without my approval, without my contribution of energy, other than a conscious awareness of the situation and the war we're in. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate it. Not all our topics can be sunshine and roses, and we're winning, okay? But I do think humanity's on path to make some beautiful changes. I really do. I mean, I'm not just making that up. It's a true, deep belief of mine. But like I said, we're also not going to shy away from difficult topics. Okay, we're not going to be ostriches with our heads in the sand. And when there is a tough topic, we're going to say, okay, I accept this as a reality, but I'm not contributing energy to it. And mine is going to making a much better outcome happen. Let's use our power, folks. Reject fear. Embrace love and kindness. Be willing to look at hard topics without letting them destroy our good vibrations and the outcome we see for our children, for ourselves, for our families, for our countries, whatever that may be. Until next time, love and light.